Hi everyone, I'm Stefanie Santoro, flautist of Les Non-Triolet, and today I'm going to show you how I prep for my practice and what I do to warm up. So the first thing I like to do is start with a series of low chromatics. So I usually start on B natural and then work my way down. So that warm up is really good because it helps you with that low register, gets your flute nice and warm, and you can practice different things with that warm up. You can do your taper off on the last pitch, or you can be super strong and forte, or you can be really soft and have like a nice light vibrato, or you can have that big, huge vibrato or no vibrato at all. So that warm up to me is really important because it helps you with those different colors of your low register. So to practice my upper register, what I do chromatics, but going up. So it's going to start on G. This exercise is really helpful for your breath support, of course, because what I like to do is start on that nice strong starting pitch, and then when you go up, it's really light and it's kind of like this trickly, sparkly flute sound that we all want when you go up to the highest pitch in the chromatic. And then that highest pitch can be nice and strong, or you can serve that air and keep it lighter, because the goal for this warm up is to do it all in one breath for that grouping of chromatics. But this is super helpful because it takes you all the way up to your highest pitch that you want to play, and it's you can practice those beautiful high sparkly sounds. But I like to start, like I said, on that nice strong bass note, on the nice strong your first note, and then you go all the way up, and the chromatic going upward is going to be really sparkly and just kind of like think water when you go up, or at least that's what I think. So that is what I like to do to start my warm up. And the next thing that I like to do is my number 4 Taffanel and Gobert. I have my daily exercise flute book, and my cover fell off because I've had this since I was in like, I don't know, 4th grade, 5th grade. So I like to start with G major because it is a nice friendly key, and also it's my favorite key. So I go through all of the keys, but that's the one that I like to start with. And with this exercise book and with number 4 specifically, it's a really good exercise because you can do so much with it. You can practice all different articulations. You can practice breathing if you play at a really slow tempo. So sometimes I like to take it as slow as 45, 50 to see how long I can sustain my phrases. And then I usually like to do all slurred just to get a nice comfortable feel of that G major scale. And sometimes I also like to change up the articulation, and specifically for my practice for this month and for the past couple weeks, I've been doing a lot of double tonguing exercises because I am currently playing the Divian flute concerto. I really love that piece, but I've been working on my double tonguing because there is this section, it's a lot of running 16th notes in the second section of the piece, in the first movement. So also in the third movement too, but it starts out with that gorgeous lyrical line, but then it continues to those running 16th notes. So I was noticing that, my double tonguing was a little bit, choppy, not the best. So I was trying to figure out a way to strengthen that, and I brought my Taffanel and Gobert book out. I took my Taffanel and Gobert book out, and I started, of course, with it slurred, but then instead of doing the whole thing double tongued, I was doing a double bounce on each pitch. So after I did and so on with the slur, I went back and I did it with a double bounce on each pitch. So I took it a little bit slower than what I would normally do with the slur, but it was like this. And so on with this. I also like to do the slur 2 tongue 2. Now that really helps with the Mozart flute concerto in G major, but it also helps me with my Divian concerto in E minor. So because there's a lot of that slur 2 tongue 2 articulation in that second fast part. So that would go. And so on. So I do the same thing, like I said before, I do the same thing with each key. So after I do my G major, I go back to the beginning of number 4 and start with C major. And it takes you through the minor keys as well. So you can break it up into, I just want to practice my majors, or I just want to practice my minor scales. So I take it all the way back and I go through each key. I try to do every key every day, but if I can't do every key every day, I'll pick like 3 or 4 that I do every single day. Like I said, Taffanel and Gobert is a really, really great flute exercise, daily exercise book. And all of the different etudes in here, not etudes, all the different exercises in here really help you with your technique. So in addition to the Taffanel and Gobert exercise number 4, I always love to do, when I practice, I like to have it super organized. So I start usually with a half hour of warm-ups, which includes that Taffanel and Gobert, a bunch of different scales, my chromatics, which I showed you in the beginning, and also I have my etudes. So I always do etudes. I love practicing my etudes because, they help us with all different types of techniques that, are sort of out there. And sometimes, they give us etudes that were meant for other instruments, such as the violin for flute, which makes it more complicated as far as breathing goes and our phrasing. And, sometimes when we play these etudes that are meant for violin, there's a lot of different articulations that the violin would do that the flute wouldn't do. So it's an extra challenge. So speaking of that, I'm working out of the Détaché etude book, which is such a good book. It takes you through all different types of techniques. So with the Détaché book, I am practicing, because I'm working on my double tonguing, I'm practicing the Bohème Caprice number 6, Opus 26, out of the 24 Caprice Bohème book, but they put it into the Détaché etudes. So I've been working on this because of the articulations that I have to work on. So obviously, you know, you take it slow and then you bump yourself up to a presto or faster tempo than what you would do when you're just learning it. So I really love this etude because it has all these different, you know, there's chromatics and there's a lot, it's all double tonguing. So that's really helping me with my technique for the Debian concerto. So this Caprice. And so on. And it's funny because this piece goes back to G major, and I feel like everything that I play always leads back to G major. It really is my favorite key. So that is what I do for my warm-up. And I spend, like I said before, a half hour in my warm-ups, and I'll play around with my metronome and I'll put it at that slow tempo and then bump myself up, especially for this Caprice. But yeah, so then I move on to, I apply all of this to my pieces. So for that Debian concerto, like I was saying before, it starts with this gorgeous lyrical line. And so on. And then it goes into the E minor section, and it's just like a completely different character, completely different tone to the piece. So the crazy 16th notes happen on that second page of the concerto. So we have and then there's way more to it, but that's just a taste of the Debian concerto. I love this piece so much. I don't know how I haven't discovered it before, but it's gorgeous. And then that beautiful lyrical line comes back again on the second half for the recap. It's very gorgeous. So check out the Debian Flute Concerto on YouTube. You know, Emmanuel Pohoud, of course, Jean-Pierre Rampal, his recording is beautiful as well. So thank you so much for